athletes. They're all a part of IWC.
Well, they're all part of IWC. I'm saying homegrown IWC.
Exactly.
Guys who started in IWC.
Troy Lords has been here for about 5 years, and he's certainly paid his dues. He's certainly made more than enough necessary sacrifices, and this very well could be his time to shine. Joe Dombrowski, Jeff Gorman, Jay Worthington Farnsworth at Super Indy 5, Claudio Castagnoli versus Troy Lords.
Well, it's an uphill climb for Troy Lords. He's got tons and tons of ability, but this is a big night for him. He's really focused on winning the tournament, but he's got a tough draw here in the first round, not only from an ability standpoint, but Claudio's got a really big size advantage here.
Absolutely right. Claudio Castagnoli defeated another smaller competitor, Jason Gorey, in order to qualify for this tournament. Troy Lords, well, he defeated Shima Zion to retain his Super Indy 5 spot, and of course had that tremendous 20-minute time limit draw for the Super Indy Championship against John McChesney last January. That's what gave him the right to enter this tournament, and certainly justifiably so, regardless of what Shima Zion might say.
Well, that's really a match. I mean, no, you mentioned that Lords has been here a long time, but that's really a match to put Troy Lords on the map. Taken seriously as a serious title contender. He's had a lot of title shots in the past. He really had to get over his previous association with sexual harassment. Some people still didn't take him seriously, but now everyone knows that Troy Lords is all business in there.
Well, ever since Troy Lords has been out on his own, he seems to have really excelled. We had sexual harassment. We had the Velvet Mafia, the Ohio Players. You can list. Troy Lords had spent many years as a follower. Now he's finally stepping up to lead himself, and clearly it's working very well for him.
And it's a smart move here by Lords to try to tie up Castagnoli's legs, neutralizing that size advantage.
But it's so tough to control legs that big.
You know, were anyone else, I would say this is the equivalent of using an Abrams tank to take out a fly. However, balls on Troy Lords, you'll notice he had been taking the fight right to Claudio Castagnoli, not looking for a weak spot, not trying to feel it out. He went at him 100%.
And Claudio just so smooth in that ring, stringing these moves together.
Quick roll up here, down to 2.
Has such a wide variety of styles since he's wrestles all over the world, and he just gets better and better every time.
On our Super Indy Spotlight interview feature on IWC Wrestling.com, Troy Lords stated he doesn't just want this Super Indy title, he needs it. He needs it to show all these years of sacrifice have finally paid off, and he's finally reached that top of the mountain. He doesn't have international tours. He doesn't have big TV tapings. This is the one and only most important moment in Troy Lords' career tonight.
Well, that's the kind of attitude that could actually win it for Troy Lords. You got to come in there with some fire, with something special, especially when you're going to have such an uphill climb. And I mean, everybody in this tournament has an uphill climb to beat 3 opponents in one night. So Lords could do it if he comes in with that attitude.
What do you think the height difference is there? Is that 8 inches? Is that a foot?
My God, I'd have to say a good
maybe
6, 7
inches, yeah.
Wait a second. But look at Lords counter out of Claudio's grasp. Take him down with an arm drag. Lords has to do the best with what he's got here. Certainly not the most ideal of circumstances, able to snap off the head scissors.
He's riding him like a
sidekick connects.
Like a jungle gym.
And that was a good move. Lords needs those kind of quick strikes like that sidekick to keep Claudio reeling.
Man, what a night there. You realize Troy Lords has only had one opportunity at the Super Indy title over the past 3 years.
And it's been a long time, too, so now this is his big chance.
You'd have to go back to the era of Hentai's title reign to find Troy Lords' last title shot at this championship. And tonight, he has a chance to prove that all along, he's really been in contention.
Somebody's going to prove it tonight by winning the whole thing.
Number 2. Claudio has that big frame on top of Lords, but not enough to keep Lords down. Lords has been training so diligently, not just for this tournament, but over the past 6 months. Farnsworth, you can testify to this as well. Troy Lords has been like a whole new man ever since he's been out on his own.
Testify.
And you had pinpointed it earlier. It was the betrayal and the collapse of the Ohio Players that all of a sudden you started seeing a look in his eye, a certain way he carried himself. It was almost as if he realized he was better than what he had previously thought.
Hard clothesline
he started
by Claudio.
showing what he was worth.
And you add into that the quote-unquote defections, for lack of a better term, of Shirlito and Hentai going into business for themselves rather than being the locker room leaders they once were. I think that motivated Troy Lords to step up as well. And Troy Lords' first major single win was against Sebastian Dark, and ever since then, it's been no looking back.
So it's really all building to this one night for Troy Lords. We'll see if he can cash it in. We'll see if he can get out of the first round.
Well, now let's see if Claudio can beat the record of 25.
That's right. You got a stopwatch, Farnsworth?
Well, we got fans. We got several hundred fans keeping us up to tabs here.
But are they official?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
this is a world-traveled Farnsworth here we got.
I don't think we have a judge in attendance.
Rolexes do not have stopwatches on them, Jeff. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, man. I need to take mine back.
Glenn's record for the night's been broken. We're past 30. We're more than halfway to a full minute. And he's walking around with them. Good God. This strength is ungodly.
He's looking tired. Count faster.
You gotta be
He's going for a minute. He's trying to get a minute.
You have got to be kidding me.
Oh, he's still going.
Exercises with Lords on his shoulder. That was about 65 seconds.
And that's going to be no.
I'm surprised. I am surprised Troy Lords is not unconscious. And Claudio showing why he's one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised Troy Lords isn't like vomiting blood at this point.
Really? Upside down, up in the air for more than a minute? How can he come back from that? And there is a European uppercut by a European.
Hard shot echoed throughout this building. And now Troy Lords has got to be dazed and confused right now. Got to have a lot of cobwebs, cut another cover, and you know it's taking a lot for him to kick out of those covers, considering how much body-on-body Claudio is exhibiting.
That's right, but Lords is going to stick this out any way he can. His body is going to have to overcome this assault in order to fulfill his dream.
Like we said, reaching down to surpass your normal body's limits is what this night's about, and it's a true test right here for Troy Lords if he can do that. Back to the vertical base with some headbutts. Trying to daze Claudio. Head of steam by Troy Lords.
Oh, he's going for the sleeper here.
And on top of that, all of Lords' body weight right on top of Claudio, but Claudio, great ring positioning, able to know right where that corner is.
Just a thudding sound by those European uppercuts.
If you'll pardon the pun, Claudio's uppercut right on the money.
Aha. I'm trying to debate whether I want to pardon that pun.
Claudio has Lords right where he wants him.
Oh,
slam.
And he threw him.
Did you hear what he said right before he threw him?
What was it? When we get to cover two, kick out by Lords.
He said, watch him fly.
That's right, Lords. He had to have cleared at least half the ring. At least.
But Claudio, he's doing great here, but he's got to somehow find a way to put Troy Lords away, and he hasn't been able to do it yet.
And again, we seem to have some sort of a mixed crowd here. Certainly, Troy Lords has gained the respect of a lot of our regular fans, but Claudio's reputation supersedes himself as we got a mid-ring slugfest.
Whoa, he chopped him down with that enziguri.
Enziguri connects right to the back of the neck.
I think it shows, I mean, we're hearing the fans chanting for just about everybody. I think it's showing respect for everybody's ability. All these guys, their reputation has preceded them. And even if they don't like everybody, the fans will give people some props.
I haven't heard anyone chanting for Joe.
Well, I'm not out there. This is not about me. It's not about us. Not about announcers putting themselves over here. This is about Super Indy 5.
Well, they were chanting for me.
Oh!
Well, I think you slipped them a bribe, but be that as it may. Mid-ring slugfest.
And Lords is coming back after more European uppercuts.
Lords is getting the better of this slugfest. You wouldn't expect that looking at these two. Lords with a straight shot to the head. That low drop kick connects perfectly.
Claudio getting out of there, and that's not good for Troy Lords. He's just starting to get his momentum, and Claudio's getting himself a timeout. But wait a minute.
All or nothing here. This could prove fatal. This could make the match. Lords on the top rope. Diving with a plancha.
Dove off of the steel post.
And if that move doesn't work, you hear a splat.
And what that steel post did was it gave him the basis so he could actually fly that, that was a good almost 10 feet, I would say. 5 to 10 feet.
Yeah, look where he's getting up, way out there.
You can see that took its toll on Troy Lawrence. You see him wincing in pain as well. But you got to believe Claudio got the worst end of that exchange.
Well, now he's going to the top again, trying to capitalize. This is how he's going to win the match.
Look out. Lawrence connects with a drop kick.
Moves like that will do it for Troy.
Takes down the already dazed Claudio into the cover, but a kick out at 2.
But again, a guy as big and long as Claudio with those big legs, you got to just knock him into next week in order to pin him.
Lawrence going to take another risk.
Troy cannot let Claudio get up, which is what he's doing.
At the top, he gets crotched. Lands very gingerly on that turnbuckle, and Claudio's got a chance here.
Oh, right to the back. He's got something in mind.
Oh, no. Has him elevated. Reverse suplex. Great offense by Claudio. Is he going to take him?
No! That was so close.
And even Claudio is surprised.
Yeah, that was about as close as it gets.
Troy Lawrence is not quitting. He will have to knock him out before Troy Lawrence gives up this match.
Got to give it up to him for that. He certainly has the heart and determination to be a Super Indy
Ricolai said.
Claudio going to look to finish this matchup off. Lawrence counters with some kicks to those legs.
He's calling for the X-Buster.
Oh, no, he couldn't. But Claudio counters. Drives him down. Face first. Cover 2. Claudio it. No.
Again.
Lawrence with another kick out.
Again, Claudio almost had that in the bag, and he can't believe Lawrence is still in this match.
Unbelievable. Another case of athletes here going above and beyond our expectations, and that's saying something.
Called Ricola again. Countered.
Wait, Lawrence rolls him up.
He got him.
Ricola bomb off. Lawrence is in the semifinals.
Troy Lawrence is barely conscious. I'm surprised he won, and I'm voting for him.
To the semifinal round, Balls Hot, Troy Lawrence.
Well, my guy is out. Farnsworth, you got Troy Lawrence. He's the only one of us whose pick is still alive. Claudio can't believe it. He thought he had this match won. But such an uphill battle, such a gutsy performance. Now that Lawrence has made it through the first round, you know, he might be able to win it all.
That's the first step. Claudio absolutely gobsmacked. I think he thought it was in the bag.
Big, well,